This series is a series where I chat to bands varying in genres of rock and ask them what they've got going on, who are they, what they're doing, just generally having a bit of a natter. I've had some amazing chats so far and I can't wait to share them with you all. So in this week's episode, we've done something slightly different. As you can tell, I haven't got my bright pink lights or anything like that because I am still under reconstruction. But I sat down and had a chat with Fangslinger, a spaghetti western band meets shock horror, shall we say. They're rather mysterious and they've come over here from the Old West and they are reaping souls across the UK. Fangslinger, his good lady Rose, and Hangman took time out to chat to little old me so I could find out a little bit more about this mysterious band that have literally come out of nowhere and are here to reap our souls. Hi guys and girls, I am Glamrat, and who are you guys?
My name is Fangslinger.
I'm Blood Rose.
And I'm Hangman.
Together we are Fangslinger, which I named after myself.
You named after yourself, right? Okay, so you guys are very mysterious. You guys kind of, just swept across the Atlantic. You guys have landed here, and yeah, you're just so mysterious. So how did you guys end up here? How did you beautiful, beautiful people ended up here?
Well, we've been haunting the Old West for a long time, and we were drawn to the UK because of the beautiful castles, the vampire history, all that kind of stuff, and we figured it was a good place to start our hunt for souls. So we figured we'd head over here, and a lot of our favorite bands are from over here too. So we just figured the UK would be a good place to haunt for a little while.
Yeah, because we do have plenty of old souls across the town, and especially in Whitby, which is the home of Dracula. So I presume you guys will be spending quite a bit of time up there reaping a lot of the souls that are lurking around there.
Well, yeah, we already went. We filmed a little bit of our last music video in Whitby, actually.
Yes.
So we've been grave digging up there, digging up some old friends and that kind of thing. So yeah, we've been there.
That is amazing because you guys have also just released an EP as well as a new single. I say just released, it's been out a couple of weeks now. So how are you guys finding your reception here in the UK?
Very warm welcome. Now, the weather's too warm for us. As you can imagine, undead and all that, but yeah, warm reception from everybody. Everybody seems to be enjoying the music. We keep getting spotted and said hello to from people in the scene, so that's kind of nice. So I guess the people here kind of don't mind having their souls harvested by us. So that's
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty cool because, so what do you do when you harvest the souls? Because, like a lot of people, they just tend to keep them and capture them. But what is it specifically about the souls that you'd like to capture?
You want to take this one? Sorry, I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know the story of my husband Fangslinger, but he had a bit of a gambling problem back in the Old West.
Okay.
He lost all of his gold, and he was sort of wandering about, kind of trying to find a way to get some of his gold back, and basically came across an old ancient evil who said, you can have anything you want, but you basically need to get me 100,000 souls.
That's a lot. That's a lot of souls to keep reaping.
Yeah, it is. It's too many, and we figured we'd start a band because we saw a lot of people like this here modern rock and roll. So we figured, what better way to take souls than through rock and roll? So that's where we are.
Well,
Then we found Hangman on the way. He's this our guitar player, Hangman, hiding in the shadows at the back there.
And, quite like the shadows back there.
You never know what's going on back in the shadow.
So he was the first soul we reaped.
Okay.
So yeah, here we are.
I like that because debts have to be repaid. You got yourself into a bit of a humdinger there. So just trawling across the UK and stuff. That are you going to be going to many places to be reaping souls? Have you got a tour in mind where you're going to be going and picking out people?
Well, yeah, we got lots planned. We got a show next week, which is actually an acoustic kind of preview of what's to come. But we got that one coming up in a place called Barnsley, which is a place we've not been to before. Little acoustic show. Then we got our big live launch at the corporation in Sheffield, I think they said it was called. And then we
Yes.
got we got some festivals. We got Winter Storm Festival up in Troon in Scotland. And then we got festivals next year and a tour, which we haven't announced any of yet, but they're to come.
So
So
they're all to come. So
this is there for you.
I was going to say, there's plenty there for you guys to do. In Troon, in Scotland, it doesn't get very light out there. So, you got plenty of darkness to be hiding, especially yourself, Hangman. I bet you're going to be lurking in those shadows, just seeing who else is going to be there.
I'll be there.
And I presume whiskey is definitely your drink of choice.
When it's not blood, it's whiskey, generally speaking.
Nice.
Like it's whiskey a lot of the time. Whiskey for enjoyment, blood for sustenance.
Exactly, that has to keep you going. So, did you guys ever knock around with especially you, Fangslinger? Did you ever see like the Lost Boys or anybody like them lurking around? Because them
I
guys,
knew them. I went to Santa Carla on vacation one time, and they were.
nice.
But yeah, I mean, I know the Lost Boys. They're a little fried these days, but a lot of the vampire crew, I've even been to the Carpathians and seen the big man himself up in Romania.
Nice.
So yeah, you kind of you feel that calling. It's kind of like you get together once in a blue moon.
So, is there anything specific that you look for in the souls? Do they have to be lost souls, or could they be, bad eggs? Like, is there anything specific? Did the guy give you not a criteria as such, but like, is there anything you purposely look for?
Well, lost souls are easier to reach because they come willingly a lot of the time. But all souls are welcome here. We call it the Souls Saloon, which is where we hang out. It's also the name of our first single. If anyone wants to stream that.
Yes, it was.
But all souls are welcome. All souls.
So how is it as the good lady of the Mr. Fangslinger, because you must be incredibly supportive to be able to, not only stick with him through his gambling, losing all your gold, like that must have been heartbreaking for yourself. So how have you managed to come through all of that?
Yeah, so I had quite a difficult upbringing myself, and
Right.
they were going to try me as a witch. Yeah,
God, they're awful, aren't they? They can't just let any woman just be, a good lady, you know what I mean?
Because she was guilty, so it kind of, you know,
Well, but you must have been such a strong character to get through, like, a bad upbringing, to be tried as a witch as well, and then your good man falling by the wayside.
yeah. I think the thing is we just accept each other, and I help him. He made me have eternal life as well as him, and brought me along the way and saved me from eternal damnation, essentially. So, in a way, I feel like I have a debt to repay to him as well.
Damn. Well, yeah. So what is your part to play in there? How do you guys, so obviously Fangslinger goes along singing and reaping, you must join him along too. And then obviously you've got a Hangman hanging back there. So what is
Yeah.
your direct role in the band, Good Lady?
So I sing along with Fangslinger and Hangman. Actually, we all sing, and I also play harmonica and just sort of general witchery. To be
Yeah.
honest, I scout out the souls while when we're out and about, and I will be when we're on stage trying to find people. Um,
it's very much a three front person dynamic we
yeah,
got going on. So, you sing lead vocals sometimes, I sing lead vocals. Hangman also sings lead vocals on our new single as well. So there's a lot of, it's kind of like the Beatles. You don't know who's going to be singing the next song. So we kind of like that dynamic.
Nice. I like that. So I presume that maybe Halloween is probably a prime time for you guys to be going out searching for souls because, of course, with the Eve of the Undead and everything like that, or even the 30th of October, because, that kind of opens everything up. And then you've got the Day of the Lost Souls on the 1st of November as well. So that must be like a peak time for you guys.
Yeah, we got to make sure we don't have a hangover on any of those days because the veil is thinnest at that time. So we got to
Right.
make that.
there is something coming on the day of the lost soul. So
Ooh.
Well, you want to tell the people instead of telling me? I know.
Ah, you are our leader. I would not like to
I
say.
prefer glorious leader.
Sorry, you are a glorious leader, and I would not like to do anything without your approval first.
Yeah, tell them we can do exclusives.
Okay, Well, we do have another song coming out on the 1st of November, just before
Nice.
the Corporation. So
Yeah,
That would be pretty cool. That's awesome. So, you guys are being kept really, really busy, you know? Must
yeah.
feel
Well,
good.
it kind of, yeah, it kind of feels like time just flies by. Been alive 150 years, a bit more, and this past year since we've been doing this has been the fastest year ever. So, yeah. What do you think, Hangman? You're quiet about that.
Always, no, it's really, like Fangslinger said, this past year has really gone so quick. And having the music to be able to tell our stories through, and tell everybody how we're going to go about things. I think that's what does it. Like you say, we're really busy, always doing things, up to something that people aren't aware of yet, maybe, and we just like to keep that suspense as well as keeping people around with us and in the loop. But yeah, much more of it to come as well, so it just doesn't slow down.
Yeah, because you guys just came out of nowhere, like there wasn't as if there was any inkling that you guys were coming along or anything like that, and then it was like, bam, you guys are here, and you're definitely going to be here to stay, I presume. So,
Yeah.
is there anywhere in particular that you would love to go to reap the souls in particular, other than Whitby, because that is just the home place here in the UK? Is there anywhere else in particular that you'd go?
Well, the big festivals seem to be a good place to start harvesting. So we'd like to, we've just been on the big screens of Bloodstock all weekend. So
Yes, you
Bloodstock,
did. I spotted you guys there. Yes, that took me by surprise. Just before Dogma, the nuns, the blasphemous nuns were on. That's when I saw you guys.
yeah. So we got that. So it'd be nice to come play there and harvest some souls there. And we got, there's obviously Download Festival, but there's also a lot of big, there's a lot of smaller festivals that are probably on the horizon for us that we can't really mention because it'd be giving too much of the game away. But keep an eye out on festivals for next year because we'll be reaping souls
Yeah,
and digging.
that would be awesome as well. Because it'll be great to keep busy, and I suppose it will keep you occupied. And does it get to a point where you stop counting? Like, are you going to continue even after your debt is then paid?
Well, maybe. I mean, it's quite addictive in a way, and I think and there's a kind of community of lost souls building up, and there's a lot of friendships blooming within those lost souls. So it's kind of becoming its own thing, and I think almost once we reach our 100,000, it's kind of like I think it's going to become its own thing where people just want to be part of it. And like I say, all souls are welcome. So we're never going to stop turning people away. I don't really know what happens when I repay the debt, though, because I may drop dead. I don't really know yet. We'll have to find out what, because the deal was eternal life, eternal riches for
Yeah.
100,000 souls. So how long is eternity? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Because I mean, Dorian Gray is, for example, his was in exchange for a portrait, and then once he glimpsed upon that portrait, that was it. He was then done. But he knocked on for quite a while. So, did you ever cross paths with Dorian?
No, I did not, but I saw the portrait and it was quite hideous. And I think the thing with these demons, like Mephistopheles, all those kind of people that you sell your soul to, they often
Mhm.
have small print that they don't actually mention to you at the time. So I'm always wary because obviously Dorian had his undoing. There's a lot of this stuff. Faust, if you're familiar with that, he had his undoing, and they all kind of seem to be similar evils to whom we've sold our soul. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. That's kind of part of the trouble, you see, because you don't know what's at the end of this ride. Um,
Mhm.
it could be disaster.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because I mean, it would be unfair for, like, say that you got your reapings and you were then done. He should at least give you the option to have eternal life because your good lady has eternal life, and Hangman at the back there, he will now have eternal life. So I think it would only be fair.
yeah. Well, fair doesn't always enter into it, but we'll
No,
see.
I suppose it doesn't. I suppose it doesn't. Is there anything that you miss about the Old West, compared to obviously living now in the 21st century? Like a lot obviously has changed across the times. Like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of witches now that are living out in the open. They go out praying, and there's definitely hangmans out there, but of a different kind of nature. Is there anything that you miss
What's that mean?
back in the day? There's definitely hangmans out there.
Um, I mean, in terms of me, I mean, I miss living, and I've not been alive for a long time, so that's definitely something. I miss when music had a tune.
Yes, there's a lot of that that's missing. Even in the last 10 years. I mean, I can't imagine how much it has changed over
Bringing it
150
back. We're
or
bringing
so
it back.
years. Yeah.
Melody. What about you guys? I don't know.
Um, I'd say I miss home. New Orleans is my home, or where I found my home, um, and kind of working the bars and just sitting with Fangslinger and just having a nice time. I feel like we're kind of hidden away and being elusive now a little bit more, which I find hard because I quite like to be out there and yeah. So I kind of miss that, and I miss New Orleans.
Yeah, I kind of miss Texas too. Like, some of the stories just non-repeatable. Keep
Hmm.
it that, But who knows? Maybe we'll head back one day and we'll all see what we can read and what we can do there.
Yeah, for sure. Some of these stories are unrepeatable because this man, we found him. The reason he's called the Hangman is because he was about to be hanged when we found him for a
Right.
crime that he swears he didn't commit, but we're not so sure. And but we were drawn to him, and he seemed like a nice enough guy, so we brought him along for the ride. And now he plays guitar real well for us.
Well, that's always handy. That's a bonus.
A long
I
time of practice. We got a real long apprenticeship for this.
was going to say, did you play guitar back in the old days before you got your soul reaped, or is it just something that you've learned? I mean, when you've got eternal living, you've got plenty of time to learn something new, I guess.
Well, this big perspective was everything. Never really had time before this, so it was definitely a nice new avenue to explore, and this is what we get.
When you get plenty of time to live, technically live, unlive, but when you got plenty of time on your hands. So, is there anywhere in the world that you think would be best for you guys to go? Because, are you planning to stay in the UK for your eternal reaping, or do you think there's other places that you need to go? Because I bet in New Orleans there's definitely plenty of souls there, because home of the parties, definitely. There's great music there, and big old Texas is a huge state to go from. There must be somewhere else in the world, or is just the UK just going to be your home for now?
Well, it's going to be our home for a good time, but I mean, we are looking to potentially go back and touch all our hometowns. So I'm from Death Valley, California, too. Well, actually, I'm from kind of a town that doesn't really exist anymore, but I sold my soul in Death Valley. So
Yeah.
California, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Dallas, Texas are places we would like to go visit again, and maybe spread a bit of Fangslinger love and see.
Well, it's
Don't know what that
definitely
means.
love. In a way, it is definitely love, because if you are delivering people from damnation, in a way, that is
Yeah,
definitely a sign of love, I think.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, we love them. They love us. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's love.
And
So
like,
we're gonna go back and so the U.S. is definitely somewhere we got to go. I mean, this newfangled stuff like Spotify, is it they call it? See, I'm
mm,
old, so I don't really get this stuff. But they tell me there's people listening all over the world already. So we got like people in France and in Germany and in Sweden. So we're like, we better go harvest some souls over there because like we got all these numbers on paper. If I can translate them into souls for the big guy, and it
mhm.
gets out of jail a little quicker. So yeah, I mean Europe, America, it's all for the taking. I tell you.
I was gonna say it's all out there for you guys to, ride yourselves out there and to reap them all. That's for sure. But obviously, with technology being a new thing for you guys, I presume that people can find you on, technology avenues such as Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, especially with your videos and things like that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like witchcraft. So Blood Rose is kind of apt with it all, so it kind of makes sense that she would understand it. But yeah, like you're in a box to me right now. You're in like a flat
Box.
sort of thing.
It's okay.
But I presume everyone can find you
Yeah.
guys on all those witchcrafty things.
On Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. That's your favorite one.
TikTok's good. I like TikTok.
Yeah.
That's where they do that stuff.
Um,
Yeah.
and Spotify, YouTube. I think that's everything. Those are like the big ones that people would know anyway.
Hang on. Someone said to me something like all major streaming services.
That is definitely a word there. You caught up with the lingo, Fangslinger. You're definitely there.
Think you know more than me.
Well, that's just what they tell me. I just repeat things.
But that is great that you guys are there, and I have actually joined your little group on Facebook as well. So you have the Lost Souls group on Facebook, so people can, I presume, talk to you guys on there anytime as well.
Yeah, it's just nice to have a little. It's a little bit more of an exclusive community where we can all just sort of chat and share stories, and then sometimes the people in that group will get exclusive sort of updates before everyone else. So that's kind of cool.
Never mind, huh? Well, that is awesome. So people can go there, they can catch like exclusive glimpses for you guys. Obviously, you guys tell your stories very well through your music. So, would you say it's for people who love like horror stories with rock elements and things like that? Would you say in like kind of a hard rock, classic rock, horror rock kind of way? Is that the best way to describe you guys?
Yeah. Someone else said something to me. It was like Hammer horror meets spaghetti western. I remember the Hammer horror and the spaghetti western movies. Actually, I was a little younger when they were out. But yeah, it definitely is that kind of thing. Like there's a lot of horrific stories in there, and there's a lot of gothic horror, but there's a lot of hard rock, good times, rock and roll, blues, dark Americana type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty damn cool. Is there anything you would like to say to people out there who might be thinking, I don't know if I should go to a show. I don't know if I'm ready for my soul to be taken, or what would you say to those people who are a bit on the fence about whether to come to your shows?
Well, I would say there's no rehearsal for life. You only get one go. So give me your soul, and I'll make it better for you. Because otherwise, you're going to live in this monotony forever.
That sounds pretty damn fair, to be
Maybe
honest.
that's a nicer way to put that, but that's how I see it.
I think it'll be a good time.
See, she always has a nicer way to put it. You see?
And what about you, Hangman? What do you say?
Yeah, it's come an experience of what it is. You'll soon see your own opinion and see why I should have gave your soul years ago.
Exactly. That sounds amazing. Well, it is getting to almost sunset time here in the UK, so I guess you guys must have a rather busy night ahead out searching for some more souls and writing down your stories and telling them to more people. Just give one last word to the people out there to, encourage them to internal life.
If you ain't with us yet, you will be eventually, because this is going to spread like the plague. So now's the time to get on board. Get on board now. Get on board
We
now.
are nice,
Get on board
honestly.
now.
I'm
I'm
nice.
telling you, get on board now.
Okay.
There ain't no second go at this. This is the time. Fangslinger is riding into your town, and we're going to take your soul. So you might as well give it willingly, because if you don't, I'm just going to rip your jugular out.
No, he's not gonna do that. No, we're just gonna sing songs. That is all that's gonna happen.
Well, we can always come and see the good lady, and I'm pretty sure Hangman's going to be lurking around in the corners, and Fangslinger, I'm sure people are going to be absolutely mesmerized by the stories that you are going to tell. But I will take my leave, good lady and sirs. Please do take care, and I will see you guys in the saloon very, very soon. Take care.
Thank you very much for having us, man.
No problem.
You can follow these guys on all the socials. The links are in the description below. You can also be a part of their Lost Souls Saloon, and you can watch them here on YouTube, and make sure that you guys support them in every way you can, including streams. But I want to say thank you very much to Fangslinger, Good Lady Rose, and Hangman for taking time out to chat to little old me. But please stay safe wherever you are, and until next time, catch you later, Glamratters. Bye bye.